Hello, beginning orchestra students. This is a video to show you how to use the violin or viola bow, how to hold it, and how to put it on the string. Now, the first thing you're going to need to know will be the parts of the bow. So you have the tip of the bow out here, the stick, which has a slight curve to it. You have the screw here, which loosens and tightens the bow, and you have the frog right here. Now, the most important part of the bow are the bow hairs, and it's very important that we do not touch the bow hairs because the oils from your skin can actually stop the bow hairs from being able to make sound on the string, which basically make it so it doesn't work anymore. So we want to be very careful we don't touch the bow hairs, and we keep them nice and clean. Now, you're going to want to start when you take out the bow. You're going to want to start by tightening the bow by the screw. Now, you'll know that you have it at the right amount of tightness by turning it right to tighten when the bow stick has a slight curve, a slight smile, and you can stick your pinky in between the bow stick and the hair. If you tighten it so that the bow stick becomes straight, or even worse, if it curves outward like this, then you know you've done it too much, and you're going to need to loosen it so that it has a slight curve inward. If it has too much of a curve inward, then you see the hairs are going to become really loose, and they won't work very well that way either. So I'm going to tighten up to the right amount of tightness by turning to the right on my screw, and this will look just about right. Now, when we practice holding the bow, we use our left hand as our helping hand to hold the stick, and then we use our right hand to actually do the bow hold. The reason we use the left hand as our helping hand is that it makes it so the bow is lighter, and it makes it easier to hold with the right hand. Now, the important things about the bow hold are that you get a curved thumb that's bent outward, and it's bent outward so that it's right next to where the hairs are. This is the only place you're allowed to touch the hairs, is on the side of the bow hairs with your thumb that's bent outward. Notice that I'm using the tip of the thumb, not the pad of the thumb. Once I get it right on that tip, it'll be bent outward, it's pointing up, and that's where I get my power from when I make my bow strokes. Now, once you've got your thumb there, you'll have 3 fingers hanging over, and then your pinky will be curved and sit on top. What you want to watch out for is if the pinky straightens, that won't give you any flexibility or control to do really cool bow strokes. So you're going to want to curve it and get it nice and close to the other fingers, and then you have a good bow hold. Once you have a good bow hold, you can let go with your helping hand, hold it straight up and down, and make sure you've got all your fingers curved and on the bow, and then you'll be ready to play. In order to play in playing position, you'll put your thumb behind the saddle here, and then your other fingers wrap around the instrument. You bring it up over your head, over your shoulder, and it comes straight down on top of the shoulder, and then that allows my jawbone to land on this chin rest here, and then my instrument is nice and secure. What you want to watch out for is if the instrument slips down in front of your chin, and then it's kind of like my necktie, it's just hanging down in front. And unfortunately, you can't play the violin or the viola very well in this position. But if you have it nice and tall, it's pointing out to my left, and I have my jawbone on the instrument. It's nice and level to the floor. It's not pointed down. It's not pointed way up. It's nice and level. And then I have my perfect bow hold, and I put it on the string about 1 inch from the bridge, about 1 inch from the bridge. From there, I just open my elbow, close my elbow, move my arm back and forth to make a bow stroke on the string. I hope that helped you use your bow. It's very important that you get the bow hold right, or you might sound a little bit like this. and that would be kind of sad. But this is so much more fun to play like this with a perfect bow hold. Okay, well, have fun practicing at home. I hope that gives you a big sound on your instrument and a perfect bow hold.